Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For a long time, we've lived in a society where being a man meant that you're responsible for your family. Being a man meant that you cannot show signs of vulnerability or weakness, meaning that you cannot ask for help when you need help. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ginger, the founder of Ginger the Voice. We are a communications company that seeks to give hope, courage, and enlightenment. We do this through various platforms such as speaking, singing, and hosting talk shows such as these. Tonight we've got a very exciting topic. We are saying what men want ladies to know. So it's about men going through so much that they at times behave in a manner that maybe ladies do not understand, or they are viewed as cruel, they are viewed as inhumane or mean. We've got a guest tonight who is Dr. Charlie Peterson. He's a life coach, he is an inspirational speaker, he's an MC, he's also an author. But what I like about him also is that he's a founder of a foundation called Growing Up Without a Father. Dr. Peterson, Dr. Charlie Peterson, welcome to tonight's show. We are so excited to have you here. I guess tonight is going to be a night where we talk all things men. Our society has focused a lot on women. There's nothing wrong with that. We're trying to redress the imbalances of the past. But if we don't focus on men as well and leave them behind, then we're creating another problem, because these two genders, they exist together in society. So good evening to you, Dr. Charlie. I'm here to Ginger the Voice.
Thank you, Ginger. I'm really honored, and it's a real honor for me to be on this show. And firstly, no, I don't know everything. So the thing that I'm going to share is things that I went through and that I've seen other men and other boys went through. So we are still learning, and I'm going to be as honest as possible. So I also want, yes, and our audience must also, be honest. And let's open up, let's chat about these things, because most of the things are, people don't want to talk about these things.
Okay, I think for me, what excites me about you is the fact that you've been through it. First of all, you are a married man. A married man, now when we go back to how you have grown up, your background, you also grew up with a father. Can you just tell us how did that translate into you being able to be in a relationship now? How were you able to adjust as a husband, adjust as a partner, adjust even as be a father to your own kids? How has that been for you?
Ginger, let me take the journey. I went and looked up for my father at the age of 21. So I was on another talk show yesterday saying that it's fine. Children don't need fathers, because the mother can be a mother and a father. I said it's wrong, because
impossible.
You don't. It's impossible, because there's certain things that boys can be taught by a father, and certain things that boys can be taught by a mother. There's a soft side. The mother is there to protect us, to guide us. To how can I say, when we get hurt, fathers are also there to take us by the hand, show us direction, and show us guidance. So your mother cannot be your father, and your father cannot be your mother. And most of the things, Ginger, that I've learned through the years is to streetwiseness, where you ask your friend, because my elder brother and myself, we didn't have the same father. So we were 6 years apart. He was 6 years older than me. So there was that struggle also between the two of us to find one another, while we also struggling to find ourselves as brothers. We only
sorry, Charlie, you were both living in the same house but having different fathers.
Yes, and both fathers were gone.
Okay.
We were raised by our mother, the single mother. So it was challenging for her, because there were times that I see, I really think my mother is struggling now, to put us into that direction and to get us where we are. And in the older days, your grandfather will step in as a father. And my grandfather passed away when I was very young. So I was totally actually lost. And the streets actually were there to show my manhood and my boyhood and the way. And on the streets, you don't find cozy, nice things. You find the guys that are also there that are also broken. He is there
Absolutely.
because he's broken. So he's showing his
Absolutely.
brokenness and he's transferring his brokenness into you.
Mm. When you say brokenness, what kind of brokenness are you talking about? I'm very interested in that. When you guys are there in the street as men, what is it that you teach each other? What kind of brokenness are you talking about?
You see, most of them will sit there and say, my father also left me. There you
Okay.
deal with anger, bitterness, pain. So we hate this thing that's been called father. And also,
Mm.
you need to prove yourself also with a lot of things. And that's why, Ginger, you'll see later that boys that grew up without father, I think I sent you the stats, they tend to end up in prison. And it's a
Yeah.
fact. People, we must not deny that. I'm just fortunate, I'm just blessed because I was
Mm.
raised by a mother, a praying woman. So I
Mm.
am not lucky, but I promise you, most of our brothers that were raised, without fathers, are in prison, are troubled, and everything. Not all of them. Small percentage of us has made it in life, but most of us that grew up without fathers are lost, totally lost out there.
Mm.
I'm
And I
also
suppose
talking on
also,
behalf of, sorry, Ginger, I'm also including ladies and girls
yes.
and women, yeah,
Okay.
that grew up without
One of
fathers.
the brokenness you've mentioned is that in one of the lists that you once gave me was also they to end up raping. Okay. But what causes that?
Yeah,
What we want to understand is what then causes that? You don't have a father. He's not
yeah.
around to model what you should do as a man. Then you go out to the
Mm.
streets. What is it that you guys teach each other on the streets that make you seem like this vindictive human beings now, inhuman people that we as women are beginning to be afraid of?
You're sitting there, most of those guys don't have a lot of things to discuss. The first thing they will discuss, they eye a certain woman. Hey, if I can find her, I'm going to do this with her and I'm going to do this with her, or if I can go and break in and have this money or drugs and everything. And I was fortunate not to drink, to smoke, or to use drugs. So I think God has just put me aside since I was born, so that I can be able to talk to men and boys that are down there and say, guys, that is not the way. The reason that you are not born without a father does not make you, you know, like you have leprosy or you are not valued. You just need to find your
Yes.
own identity. But it's tough to tell people that are surviving. I work with a lot of street kids. For them, it's just I'm living for today. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm living
Mm-hmm.
only for today.
So, I mean, what I'm also trying to get is that there's a psychologist called Michael Baker. He speaks about
Mm,
the longing that you guys would have, the disconnectedness, as in terms of brokenness that men usually
mm,
feel who have not had a father figure in their lives, the guilt, the anxiety. So if
mm.
that's men experience, how are you able then to fix yourself as Charlie Peterson so that you can adjust well into a relationship because you're married now to
Yeah,
Brenda.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Actually,
So
yes,
how are
yes.
you able to fix yourself? How are you able to adjust yourself? I mean, you grew up without a father, just like the one who's raped, just like the one who committed suicide. How are you
Mm,
able to
mm.
adjust yourself in a relationship so that you can get along with your partner who is a female?
It's tough because what I told myself when I was small, Gigi, I said I'm not going to be, because I had uncles, and all those men in my life that I've seen come and go, how they treat their children. I just told myself from a small age, I'm going to be different. So with relationships and all those things, I was reading a lot. Luckily, my mother was a reading mother, so she will read a lot of stories to me, and she will always tell me that when you want to escape from trouble and problem, buy yourself a book, get yourself a book, because with a book you can find yourself in London, you can find yourself in the US, going there. So I started to use my imagination. I started to travel out of my body, Ginger. Like I said, now I'm in the States. Okay, this is how relationships are going. This is how they are doing. So I read a lot. We used to read a lot of these love books and everything. So I started, to model myself with what I'm reading and people that I'm seeing, and how they do. I said, okay, that one is beating up his wife. I don't think it's the right thing. So one day when I'm married, I'm not going to beat up my wife. And let me tell you, it was not easy, because sometimes Brenda and myself, because I was raised by a mother,
Yes.
I tend to do more things that women were doing. So I will cook, I will clean the house, everything that a mother will do, because I didn't have a role model of a father that say, hey, let's go out, let's go walk on the car, or let's go play soccer, or let's go do. So I will tend to do more what my mother was doing. I was part of the, they used to have this sisters at church.
Yes.
After church, that will have tea and chat about all their problems and their bitterness and their pain. I was there, so I was listening at all the pain of these aunties and everyone. I said, shoot, but life is tough. So so this is how I've learned, to go through this. And also, with my wife Brenda, and also I need to be open, because I married also at a young age, and I got divorced, because when I was young, I, I,
Yes.
I I married my
Yes.
don't say my first wife, because Brenda is my wife.
Yes.
I married my son's mother that time,
Yes.
but both of us were not ready for things like this. And also, what I've
Tell me, can I just interject? Then you saying that you got
yeah,
married young and you
yeah.
noticed that you were not ready for it. What pushed you to getting married? Was it maybe a void that you felt because you don't have a father, you want to fill it in? What was the push? What was the rush?
No, I made the commitment to my mother, when we were sitting and I can see her crying when she longed for my father and everything. I said, oh, so one day, if I have to impregnate a woman, I will marry her, because I
Okay.
don't want her to raise a child without a father. So I will take accountability and responsibility for my child. And I took that, you know, even after divorce, I was there for my son. We are big friends now. We chat about, Daddy, you were there for me. So I never turned my back against my son.
Okay. So, what did you learn from your divorce? As now a man who grew up without a father, now went
Mm,
to marry someone for a reason that shouldn't have been the reason at that time. What is it that you learned as a man? I mean, as I said before in the introduction, that we live in a society where men are expected. We
mm,
expect men as women to be the providers of the home. I cannot
mm,
understand if my husband cannot bring 5 rands back at the end of the
yeah.
month, no matter how hard he has worked. So, what is it that you have learned now as a man that you would like us women to know, that you two men are emotional beings? You two men are people who would want to be
Mm.
understood. You want to be able to be vulnerable to your wife. What is it that you can tell us?
Ginger, what I have learned is that, and I'm also going to share it with a lot of men, is that don't get into something because somebody did wrong. And also, I'm also saying to people, don't always say, I don't want to be like my father. If you if you know your Bible, you will know that Job was a very rich man, successful in everything, but Job had a fear in him, that why am I so rich? Why are all these things, great things happening to me? Until the devil saw the gap of fear in Job and he strike Job. So don't do something out of fear or panic, that you don't want to be like this, because it's gonna, everything that you plant, the seed that you plant. That's why they said you must always be careful for the tongue, because the tongue is very powerful, and what you release also, if it's not a good thing, it will come back to you. So what I've learned is that you need to accept your mistakes and man up and said, I've wronged you. Or I'm trying to teach my kids and said, don't have sex before marriage. But when the world takes over, because my kids will challenge me and say, but you did it, daddy. So, and I said, oh, but I've learned through that
Mm,
this is
mm,
going to happen if you are not prepared, if you are not ready. So
mm,
most of
mm.
our kids wants to take us back to our mistakes. When you
Sure.
share maybe
Sure.
your pain and your mistakes, with your kids, they will come back and say, "Oh, but you were 17, daddy. You were 15 when you did this, but now you tell us don't do that." We also want to experience. And kids, I promise you, all the things where my mother said, "Charlie, don't do this, don't do this," all those things, ne, I've never succeeded in them. And I've always said, why didn't I listen to my mother? And now I'm saying to the kids out there, listen to your parents, listen to your mother. And also mothers tend to blame themselves and also take, if the father is gone, they'll say, maybe because of me. Don't take yourself, don't punish yourself. It happened and it is like that, and we need to move forward. And we reach a stage as single mothers where you want to overcompensate for your own mistakes, because that thing will catch up with you, Ginger. That's why we're sitting with a lot of kids that are using nyaupe, that are using drugs, that are using this, because mothers are working their fingers off for their kids to make up for the mistakes that they made. And when they can't provide, to that kid, because now you set up a standard. If you can't provide, then you said, but what type of monster is this?
Am I
We have
bringing
to learn. Yes.
What I also want to understand from you, as someone who has grown up in a situation where there was no father, and now you got married, you got into a relationship. What were the expectations that your wife had that you couldn't bring forth? As I said to you, I want us to go back and talk about the expectation that women have over men. Because now I'm married, you are my husband, you need to provide. Because now I'm married, you are my husband, therefore you must be my rock, and I cannot expect you to see you cry. What are the challenges you think men meet out there that ladies should know about, that we are also human as men?
Ginger, I've inboxed a few men, and I told them, hey guys, I'm going to be on air and this is going to be the topic. So they gave me some few things here. I'm going to read it. It's 17 of them, Ginger.
Wow. Maybe if you can explain one or two of them.
I will try. Yeah, I will try. They said women are often reprimanded for being complicated creatures. When they said, "Oh man, a wife is very complicated, and that one, don't try and change your mind." And you'll see also the jokes that they made. They said, when you go to a bookstore, you'll find there's a million books on women, but there's only 3 on men. And they said, but they said the truth that men can just be as guilty of sending mixed signals to the opposite sex. So men are also guilty on that one. Just the opening of that. And they said, they said men said we crave compliments as much as you. So men also feel that
amazing. Charlie, the compliment. We never think of it as women, because we think that we're the ones who should be told we're beautiful. We're the ones who should be told we're all that, we dress nicely. Men don't care. It seems like men don't care.
No, we do. We do. Sometimes, we this is how we are wired. My wife will always fight with me and said, you didn't tell me that, I look beautiful this morning or my hair beautiful. I said, but I know, that it is like that. Say, no, I want to hear it. So woman wants to hear the things. Now men said, we also want to be complimented. Hey, Charlie, you shave your hair very nicely. You bold that bold head fits you and everything. That's what they say. They said some guys try to play it off like they don't need praise. They need it. And the other one, Ginger, number 2, and they don't have just. And men said, please, woman, it's not all about the looks. We love you. Don't think that, we're looking to other women because they're beautiful. We know this, like others said, no, we look at the menu in the street, but we know that we eat at home. This is the questions that are coming from him. And our honesty is well intentioned. We know that at times text can be the 4-letter word. It's like women will come to us and ask us, do I look fat?
Yes.
In this dress. Now there I'm sitting now. If I tell you, Ginger, damn, Ginger, yes, you have pick up some weight, I'm going to be in trouble for the whole year. So most say that I just said, no, yeah, you look beautiful, you look beautiful. But in my heart, I actually wanted to tell you, Ginger, just, if you can just only 1 kg. But he said, they are scared to be open like that. And sometimes.
Okay. Why would they be scared? I don't understand.
No,
why can't you be honest with that?
No, because women are like that. Oh, you say I'm fat, so you don't appreciate me anymore and everything.
So you guys are scared of being misinterpreted.
Yes. And then you say, all right, next time maybe you guys are walking in the street and you just look maybe at a woman. So okay, you're looking at her because you think that I'm fat. Okay, okay. That's what's happening. And then the other guy said, we really want to solve your problems. Here they said, women don't want to listen to their husbands, when they are challenged, but they will listen to a pastor who are telling them what to do. And they want to implement what the other man told them in their house.
Hey,
the pastor said this. The pastor said this, but what about your husband? Your pastor is not your husband.
It comes as though now there's another man who's you're struggling now as you, the husband, with authority. Yes. There's just another man who's taking space. Okay.
Yeah.
I get you.
Okay. And the truth is that a close friend of mine had a situation where the wife needed to change jobs. And he advised her, please don't change your job now. And she went to the pastor. And the pastor said, no, it's time. He said he went into his car and he told the pastor that if you advise my wife again, then you must make sure that she stay here by your house.
Yeah, that pastor won't do it again. Pastor's hands off other people's women.
And the other one is that what the guys are saying, don't compare us with your friend's husband or a movie star. Oh, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo? How nice is he built and everything? And I'm sitting here, I don't have a six-pack, but I've been compared to Cristiano Ronaldo. This is what the guys are saying. And the other one, they said, we also need alone time with the boys. Like,
Dr. Charlie, are you there? I think I lost you there. Dr. Charlie, are you there? Ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear me, can you just jot down? I think we've lost. Oh, there you are. You're back. Wonderful.
One. And the others are saying we also have feelings. And the others are saying we need sex every day. Men are wired to have sex every day. And you know what I've picked up, Ginger? I look at a clip. I look at the clip last night about prostate cancer. They said men that are having regular sex are actually healthier than men that don't have regular sex, because I think maybe the stress levels of us are sitting somewhere there. So if we release it every day, then the health side comes in.
you know talking about that, about men having sex and them having sex, and rather, I was once listening to a tape by Dr. Miles Monroe. I'm sure you know him.
Yeah.
He has actually at a conference, and he was explaining. Yes, he was explaining that. Look, it's like a car. Okay, you put in petrol. Men are like cars, and when you give them sex, you put in petrol, so the car will move. It will. So it's very important. I hope all the married women out there can hear this. Sex is very important to
ladies,
men.
I can see
driving force. You are helping them.
See where I can see Mbu them, Zishle them. I can see them here on the screen. I hope you guys are listening. But the other one, they said, they said, don't lie like a robot when we make love. Please tell me, guide me also. And said, hold me, squeeze me. Huh? What's that, Ginger? I've lost you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
Can
we're
you hear?
talking serious stuff. Yeah. Like they said, can you hear me? She said,
Yeah.
please,
Yes.
man, position us also nicely, squeeze us nicely and everything. We also need that.
Live like a robot.
Yeah, are you done?
Yeah. Okay. What else? What else is on the list? It's a very interesting list, I must say. What
Guys,
else is on the list?
I'm talking on behalf of friends here, my friends.
Okay. Okay.
What's it? Try not. Okay, here's another one. They said, try not to pick out the one thing that I did wrong. They said, every time when there's a fight, you guys are always taking us back there. Can you remember?
In July 2019 at 2:15,
Yes.
we were at your brother's place. This is what we even
And you
remember
go to
the colors
details
of
and
the room.
times.
Yeah, hey?
Yes, that's how it was. So they said, please don't take us back. You're hurting us. Because it's also tough for us because, really, if we made mistakes and we're still regretting it, we are reminded about it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, number 12. We know that the other said, woman can hide a face like nothing. We know that some of you had secret lovers and you can keep secrets.
Okay. Okay. But you just choose to keep quiet and you don't interrogate or ask. Okay.
But if
But
you
why
find out maybe that I've looked to the left side, then I'm in trouble. But you they said in Soto,
yeah.
We're taking it to the grave.
Okay, one of our viewers, Charlie's asking, and I guess it's a woman. She's asking, why do men cheat and can't accept it when their partners cheat on them? Why
you know what?
You meant to? Yes.
I had a discussion with. She's already late now. Chabako. Okay. She was a speaker of the Free State. We had a discussion about the same question. Ne? Why is it so hard for men to accept that the woman has cheated? And she said to me, Charlie, a man, it's like a tap that you open. Eh?
Okay.
You open it, you close it. So as a man, you go, you zip up your pants, you take out your penis, you sleep with the woman, you take a shower, and you zip it. But a woman receive it and she keep it. And also, all right, now, as she explained to me, as a man, when you cheat, you sleep with a woman, you release your semen, eh?
Yes.
It remains in the woman. And a woman form more attachment, are getting too attached quickly to a man, then a man got attached to a woman.
Is that
so
what
it means
is that what the lady was saying to you?
Explaining to me, but she said it's the same thing, Charlie. The same, if it's sin, is the same thing. The man is not a better sinner because he committed adultery.
Yeah.
The woman is not a better woman because it's the same. But the way society also perceive it, society is also harsh for society to find out that that woman has cheated on her husband.
Yes.
And also for the man, it's about pride of saying that, that other guy now, what does he have that I don't have?
But no,
so
Charlie,
it's
on that
thing.
But on that as well, you get women who are saying to themselves, So should he wait for another woman? What's wrong with me?
Yeah, yeah. That entanglement, like Will Smith and Jada, you know.
Uh, yeah, it's a serious one. Well, I suppose it's something that it's a very big topic on its own. Why men cheat and why they cannot accept that why their partners cheat. It's a very big topic that needs
Yeah.
another day on its own.
Yes, yes, yes. But to me, both of us cannot do that. It's wrong because
Not acceptable.
for better for life, I gave yourself, I gave myself to you, you gave yourself to me. This is what we promise one another. And that it is. And let's go to point number 13. It said,
Okay.
I wish women even thought we appreciate you by taking hours to get dressed and put on your face. It's no longer necessary. They said, oh, you take hours and hours and hours just to come out there. But you know what? We love you as you are. You don't have to take that hours and hours.
I'm sorry, Charlie. I have to speak for women on this one because I'm probably that type of woman as well. Leave it to it. This is
All
one of
women are like,
when it comes to slimming, the whole diet, the slimming diet thing,
mm,
and when it comes to us doing our makeup, dressing up, forget it. Just leave it. If you're
it's a
going to be a
girl
married person,
thing.
or if you're going to be a married person, or you want to be in a relationship, accept it. It's something that's not going to change. Not today, not in the next generation,
Not,
not in the
yeah,
next. Just accept it, man. It's not going to change.
not at all. And with my wife, I'll come in the room, every now and then. Can I put this in the car when we know that we're going somewhere? Eh? All right,
Yeah.
can I put this in the car? Can I put this in the car? Until I've put everything in the car, now there I'm standing. And when she comes out, it's like, it's like, nothing went wrong.
Okay. What's the 14th one? Let's move on.
Number 15, eh?
Okay.
13, 14. Number 14.
Yes.
They said, when it comes to gifts, we also need gifts. Why must we always be the ones that only give you a gift on Valentine's and all those things? We also need a gift. We're all together in this thing.
On
Surprise us
social
also
media.
with some gifts.
And on social media, Charlie, it was a big thing actually with this particular Valentine's. Women were saying, no,
Yeah,
you guys get your cups and you get your ties. That's it. Socks, cuts, and ties. And that's it. And men were like, no, a good woman is a woman that buys a PS5 or the latest PS. I think there's a PS6 now, if I'm not mistaken. So men, it was just a struggle between men and women.
yeah.
That women, I suppose it's how society has placed everything on us. We know men as
Yes, yes,
providers.
yes.
It goes back to my introduction to say that we expect men as women to be responsible for everything in the household. When it comes to material things and then providing with material things, they must just do it. Like there's no other way. We are waiting for you to give to us, give to us, give to us.
And Ginger, nowadays, especially with COVID and with unemployment and everything, I don't know if you guys noticed that mental health is destroying our men, and that suicide is higher under men than women. And also stress levels and everything are very high under men than women. Because even men are not feeling that adequate anymore. That I used to be the one, and now my wife is the one. When I share with men I said, make yourself relevant. When you sit at home and you know you are unemployed, make sure that the house is clean, when kids are sorted, homework is sorted.
Absolutely.
For you also, it's nice when your kids said, no, daddy has washed that, daddy, it's not funny anymore. We have to be there for one another. We need to be there to cover one another and protect one another. If I can't provide there, and we are hunters as men. Look at your hands. What can I do with my hands? I'm not the executive. nothing wrong, my brother, for
Yeah.
you, to start a veggie business or something else, but just
Do
be
something.
relevant.
Do
Do
something.
something.
Be handy around the house. I like what you've just said, because the world is changing right now. It's no more the man. It's no more a man's world in the
The
corporate world or in
reception.
businesses. We're the ones giving more opportunity. You look at BEE. BEE is there to say we want women first in businesses. We want women first in managerial positions. So chances are now it's going to change. I'm going to bring in the bacon at home. And so
Yeah.
I also like the fact that you mentioned, that we need to have men who are also handy around the house. We've been groomed in society that certain skills are just for women, and yet there's survival skills like cooking. Who said men shouldn't cook?
Yes, and also, when we grew up, Ginger, when we grew up, we were told that to wash dishes is the sisters or your cousins or what, not us. No, we have to wash dishes. We have to do everything, even cook.
Absolutely.
Let's cook, brothers. Let's cook.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, all the changes we need to be relevant, like you're saying. Dr. Charlie, are you there? I think we lost you. Dr. Charlie, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have lost him, and I'm hoping that he will come back to us. We do know that there are constraints when it comes to technology. Sometimes it goes wayward, as it is. But I think what we've spoken about basically is that men do have needs as well. So women listening tonight, you need to understand that men have needs. They're also human beings. They're not just the victimizers or the people that we see who are mean and unjust. They've got feelings. They also want to be looked at. Dr. Charlie Peterson just mentioned that they want to be given a compliment. And it's something that I think most of us women don't even think about, because it's not something that society has drummed in our heads. It's always the girl who should be told that they're pretty because she's the flower of the home. And also we've spoken about things that men need to do around the house. As society is changing, we need to keep relevant. We need to keep to keep up with the change, to transformation. There's roles that are not gender roles, but rather survival skills, like being able to wash the kids if you've got kids and you're married, being able to wash the dishes, being able to cook, being able to do all of those things so that you ensure that you are relevant and help one another within the we're so happy to have you back, Charlie. I think technology is just hitting us here and there, but that's okay. It's a normal thing. It happens. So you were still saying we need to be relevant. Are we done with our list? Because it's interesting what men have to say out there.
Majita, I'm just delivering our message here. Very interesting one. They said, ladies, number 15 said, ladies, we don't like it when you are laughing too hard at other men's jokes and not at our jokes. When another man tell a joke, and when I tell a joke, we don't like it.
You think so, Katie?
No, you said you want to know. We don't know.
No, please, ladies, please. No laughing hard at other men, please.
Ooh, did you hear Tau Mukhale saying ha ha ha? No. I like that one of Tau and Karapo. You said, how many women did you sleep? 3. What? 3 times? You know that one, eh? When Karapo was. No, I think they had an argument, the two, husband and wife. So she had an affair in the movie and in the soapy, and he asked her, how many times did you sleep with him? She said 3 times. He said, what? 3 times? So number 16, number 16 is we care about you much more than the looks.
Okay.
I don't know. That one don't have. It's just as it is, bold. Number 17, the last one. As guys, we always trying to do or say something with the best intentions, but it always seems to backfire. I think we've mentioned it somewhere also. They mentioned it again. Please,
Yeah.
yeah, please give us a benefit of the doubt once in a while. Trust us.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
All 17.
Noted. All 17 points. Noted. Noted. I'm sure our listeners and our viewers, they are listening. Here, Busa is saying, be careful whose jokes you laugh most at. Be circumspect.
Exactly.
I suppose.
We're sitting with a black book. We're sitting with a black book and taking notes.
You know, Charlie, earlier on, you also spoke about it's amazing how have feelings, I must put it out there, because we sort of like, there are those subtle societal norms that we are drunk heads and call they have no feelings, they are not vulnerable, they are should be charged, you know. So sometimes, like for instance, us knowing that we need to compliment them, that we don't necessarily think about, because what we know of men is what they want is to make sure that they bring money or the bacon home and that's it, finish it. Yeah, you know, that actually the value of man has always been measured, you know, according to what they bring home in terms of money or material possessions. So it's amazing that tonight we have learned that they are also human beings. They want you to, yes, you are also human beings, you know. You get vulnerable, you have your weaknesses, you want to be open.
Yes, we have our ups and downs and all those things.
Exactly. And I'm so glad that we have you here on studio, on our live stream tonight, where I know that you're a founder of a foundation that's growing up without a father. I love that, and I love the fact that it's founded by someone who's experienced not having a father in the household. So when you mentor these boys, you teach them, things that you know. You share, yes, you know, you practical. And what I like also is that you've been a successful model. You've been able to go to school. You've been able to have a family and a stable family. So be a model to your son, as you say that you've got a son, you know, and all those things.
I've got three sons, ne?
Wow.
One daughter. I know I look very young like Denzel Washington, and three grandchildren.
Lovely. There is though one thing that we have as a mentor to men, or rather to boys, you know, growing up without a father. There's a lady who actually inboxed me and said, I must ask you, why do men find it easy to neglect their children?
You see, I've seen it there is that men like the loss of identity, the first thing, but that's not an excuse. Because maybe we need to find out what happened in the life of that man that's busy neglecting his children. But you also find that other men, you know, will leave their houses and their homes and take another wife and look more better after that wife's children than his own children. You know, I had one of my friends, she don't mind if I use the name Dineo. Dineo's father left them when Dineo them was 3 years old or what, and he just moved next door. And you know, he raised the family next door. And sometimes she said, you know, while there were no food in the house, they will smell, you know, the food from next door, and they will go to bed hungry. So also that neglect thing is that selfish spirit of us sometimes, that we only think about ourselves. Because I'm broken, I'm going through this, I'm also gonna neglect my child like what my father did to me, which is such nonsense. Wake up, take accountability and responsibility. I think it's easy for men to walk away. Like, you know, when we made that statement, can you remember about the son? it's like I'm just zipping up and I'm not taking accountability. I'm just moving on.
Okay. All right. Can you tell us more, maybe as part of our closing, more about the growing up without a father foundation? What is it that you do there, and what are the things that you're planning to do in the future? Just let our viewers know what is out there for men to help them.
Thank you, Ginger. A good one. You know what we're doing? We're trying to bring the good in men out, because you know what's happening now is that there's a lot of killings, murders, rape, and everything. And everyone,
Suicide.
yes, suicide and everything. And everyone will say all men are like this. And you know, when words like that come out, men switch off, and they don't want to move. So we're trying to show men and say, you know what? Come out. Let's try and make a difference in the lives of our society, our women, our children, because I believe, that you know of a man who's an abuser as a friend. You know you are part of the WhatsApp group of a rapist. You can't be part of something like that. We need to call each other out. So what our foundation is trying to do is trying to bring fatherless kids, the ones that are successful and not successful, to mentors and coaches, to kids that are growing up without fathers. Like we are going to have on the 3rd of April, we'll be having 25 fatherless kids and 25 stand-in kids. This 25 fatherless kids will have an opportunity to interact with a father figure. So where the father figure will just make the boy relaxed and ask him, how are you? What's happening in your life? What is your dreams? What is your desires and everything? Then we try and motivate them positively, saying that, I also come out from a house where my mother was a domestic worker. I also come out from a single house that my mother didn't have this and this and this. But I told myself, I conditioned my subconscious mind that I always tell my boys, if you stay in the mukuku, does not make you a mukuku. If you stay in the mukuku, you need to dream about a palace that I'm there. Sure. And not there. So this is what our foundation is trying to do, to be positive and to inspire men and boys to be better men and better boys and better husbands, better leaders for the future.
Okay. So where is the event? On the 4th of April? On the 3rd, sorry?
Yes, we'll be there at Freedom Park in Pretoria. It's going to be amazing. Okay. And I'm talking to a company now that want me to roll it out in all the provinces. You see, we don't have money. We need money. We need money. Go to our website, please, www.growingupwithoutafather.org.za. Please donate a 50 rand, 100 rand, because you'll be changing the life of a boy that one day going to make an impact in this country. So this is what we do. So we're going to be in other provinces because we want to duplicate this, so that we have men all over in all our provinces that are doing what I'm doing, because I can't do it alone.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Dr. Charlie Peterson, for coming through tonight. We also want to let you know, viewers, that Charlie Peterson is also an author of a book, I know 2 books, but there's more books. Growing Up Without a Father, and also Boy Child, You Matter. You can find them. Where can they find those books? Where can they find you as well? Maybe they want to talk to you because you are a life coach. Maybe there's a mother out there or a father out there who has left their child, and maybe you can assist as a life coach. Where can people connect with you?
Like I said, I just mentioned our website there, www.growingupwithoutafather.org.za. I'm on Twitter, Charlie Peterson. Just get the spelling correct of my name and surname. I'm on Instagram. I'm on what else is there? And I'm on Facebook. And how it works is that I had a session, Ginger, the other day with a whole family. We do Zoom interventions also, where that family just invited me on Zoom for 2 hours. I spoke to the whole boys of that family. They came together on Zoom and we had our session. So you don't have to have me physically. You can book me. I can do a Zoom call, Teams, or anything. We can chat about these things.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming through tonight. We truly appreciate you watching us from the event. Even if you had to leave, some of you, I noticed that you had to leave during the live stream, but we are so grateful that you were able to tune in tonight. We have great topics coming up as Ginger the Voice. Please stay tuned every Wednesday unless otherwise told, and we will fly our adverts and our promos on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on YouTube. So thank you so much for coming through. I hope you've learned a thing or two, ladies out there. Men do have a voice. Men are emotional beings as well. So let's try and change as society changes, as time changes. Let's be relevant, both the men and the female gender. We love you all at Ginger the Voice. My name is Ginger, and I'm the founder of Ginger the Voice. We're a communications company, and we seek to bring hope, courage, and enlightenment. We do this through various platforms such as speaking, singing, and hosting talk shows. And tonight was great. Thank you to you, Dr. Charlie Peterson. Good night, and God bless you. We will see you next week, same time, same place.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.